we'll learn that we can use a vertical line test to find out this graph is a function or no. For example, if you have this graph, because if the function, it's mean every x has one and only one y. This is okay. If you find two x's goes to one y, it's fine. This person going to this place. These two persons going to this place, which is okay. But if you find out one person going to two places, this is going to be wrong. We can't find one person going to two places on the same time. But two persons going to the same place, it's okay. One person going to one place, it's okay. So the vertical line test, we can use that when we have a graph, because we can't test each point. So for example, if you have this graph, this one, this is a simple graph. To test this graph, I'm going to choose a point here on the graph, a vertical line test here. I'm going to find out this x going to only one y. It's going to be the point xy. And here also, if I graph a vertical line test here, I'm going to find this x going to 1y to get a point xy, which is okay. So this graph is a function. Let's do another example. If you have this graph, now we have a graph. We can't test each point, but we can use a vertical line test. So if I graph a vertical line test here, I'm going to find this x going to this y and going to this y. That means I can find one x going to two places. In this case, this is not a function. This is how we're going to use the vertical line test. So let's check this example. First of all, in this example, they're not going to ask you to use the vertical line test, but we're going to use on the next example. On this, here's the graph. They ask you use the graph of the function to find the domain and the range. How are we going to find the domain and the range? Check the graph, start from this point and end to this point. So now I need to locate the x coordinate. I'm going to put line here to find the x coordinate, which is this point. That means the graph started from this point and end to this point, because I need just to locate the x coordinate. Here is this point, which is 1, 2. And this point is 1, negative 1, negative 2. So here is negative 2. That means my domain, which is the graph, is between negative 2 and 2. So here is the thing, how I'm going to plug in this one. This is open circle. That means you're going to put parentheses. This is a closed circle. You're going to put a bracket. This is really important. Parentheses, a bracket. So now let's plug in the domain with the x coordinate. That means start parentheses from negative 2 and end to 2. But I'm going to put a bracket here. So this is the domain. The range, we're going to work on the range. How are we going to find the range? The range now is different. We have to check the graph with the y coordinate. Check the graph, start on the y coordinate from this point and end to this point. on the y coordinate. See, I put 2 lines, so I can figure out this is the y coordinate. This point is -1, -2. So from -2, my range from -2. You see there is no open circle here. So on this one, you're going to put a bracket. Start always from the bottom to the top. That's mean here, I'm going to put -2, bracket -2. Then end to this point, which is, this is 5, 6, 7. So end to 7. Here, there's no bracket, or there's no, there's a point here and include number 7, because it's a closed circle here. So I'm going to put a bracket from this side also. That means the range is going to be bracket from -5, sorry, -2, and comma, into 7. Another bracket. That's it for this one. This is the domain and the range. Now, the other part from this example is how to find this one. They ask you find f to the -1. We already know f to the x equal y. That means all the points here, it's mean this is x. And the result is to find the y. So f to the -1, that means x equal -1. So where is x equal -1? Here is x equal -1. This is x equal -1. Now I need to find the y for this x. I'm not going to go up because there is no graph here. I'm going to go down. Go down. Here is the y at this point, which is 1, -1, -2. That means the y is -2. So at this point, x is -1, y is -2. So the result is going to be -2. That's it. It's not that much hard. The same thing with the next one. F to the 0. Let's check where is the 0. Here is x. X is 0. So here is x. Now we need to find the y. So I'm not going to go up because there is no graph here. I'm going to go down. So go down to this point. How much the y at this point is -1. That means the second point when x is 0, y is -1. So I'm going to plug in here -1. So here is -1. Let's keep going. F to the 1. That means now x is 1. So let's find out. Where is x equal 1? Here is x equal 1. How much the y? I'm not going to go up because there is no graph here. I need to go down. Here is -2. That means when x equal 1, y equal -2, which is fine. So we're going to put -2 here. Last one, f to number 2. Where is x equal to? This is 1, this is 2. Now I need to find the y. I'm not going to go down because there is no graph here. I'm going to go up. Keep going up. You see, going to this point. That's me. This point is 7. So when x equal to y equals 7. And always when they ask you like as a point, you're going to type it like as a point. And here's the last result for this example. The domain, check the function start from this point. I'm talking about the x coordinate. So I'm going to take a line to the x. This point is -1. And there's a closed circle. That means going to start from -1, the domain, bracket, -1. Now I need to check the other side. Check the other side, the function going down here. I'm going to take this line and put it on the x coordinate like this. It goes to out the graph. That means going to infinity. So if you take this line to this, the x coordinate, the function is going to go to infinity. That means start from -1, and I put a bracket on this side because it's a closed circle. If it's open circle, you're going to put parentheses. So always keep in your mind, if it's open circle, you're going to put parentheses. If it's a closed circle, you're going to put a bracket. If it's a start or end, it doesn't matter. So now it's going to the infinity. So this is the domain. Now let's check the range. The range, we need to check the function with the y coordinate. So with the y coordinate, the function is going from this side to the infinity. I'll always start from the domain from left to the right, the range from bottom to the top. So to the bottom, check the function. With the y coordinate, they're telling you the function goes to the negative infinity because it's keep going. It doesn't stop on the certain point. If there is a closed circle here, that means it's stopped. But now it's keep going, so going to the negative infinity. To the y coordinate, the function from the top is stop until this point. This is the highest point, which is, this is 6, 4, this is 5, be careful, because 4, 5, 6, and here is 7. Because here is the 8. That's mean until 8. That's mean the function is, the range is going to be always with the infinity. You're going to put parentheses, negative infinity, and it's stopped until the 8. With the 8, it's a closed circle here because it includes the function. So you're going to put bracket. That's it for this example. To find f to the -1, the same thing, you're going to do exactly the same steps. F to the -1, that means x is -1. We need to find the y. So here is x -1. You see, this is 2. So it goes by 2s. This is half, this is 1. Half, 2, and keep going. So this is 1, -1. That means when x is -1, y is going until here. How much the y here? It's 4. That means we're going to write down 4 here. The second one, f to the 0. Here is the 0. I'm not going to go down because the graph is on the top. So I'm going to go on the top to this point, which is, this is 2. So this is a 3. So when it's 0, y is a 3. I'm going to write down a 3 here. F to the 1. Here is the 1. And f to the 1, you're going to keep going up until this point, which is 6. So when it's 1, y is going to be 6. So I'm going to type 6 here. F to the 2, here is the 2. I'm going to keep going up to the y coordinate, which is going to be 7. So at 2, y is going to be 7. So I'm going to type 7 here. That's it for this example. Don't confuse yourself if there is a space here. It's exactly the same point, 1. But how are we going to type the domain? The domain is started from which point and end to which point. Check the function from this side goes to the infinity. Take this one to the x coordinate. That's mean on the x goes to the infinity. On this side, the function, the same thing, goes to the positive infinity. So the domain is going to be from negative to positive. The range is going to be the function stopped until here to the y coordinate. So the range is going to be started from -4, parentheses, because it's an open circle, and to the keep going up. You see the function from the y coordinate, keep going up, that means it goes to the infinity. So that's the range, the domain from negative infinity to infinity. To find these, exactly the same thing what we did on the previous example. One more thing, which is this one, exactly the same thing for the previous example. Here, they're going to ask you these two examples. In fact, we have a 3. Use a vertical line test to find if this one is a function or no. You see this function? I'm just going to graph a line here. Then I'm going to find as this x goes to 1y, and here is the second y. That means I found one person going to 2 places, 1x going to 2y. That means this is not a function. The same thing with the second example. The second example, you can graph more than vertical line test. You can graph another one here. So I'm going to graph one vertical line test here and another vertical line test here and check. As this x going to 1y, the same thing as this x going to 1y, that means find x going to 1y, which is fine. So that means this is a function. You're going to choose a function. The last example, we're just going to do exactly the same thing. If you have circle, in fact, we have 2. Let's do this one. If you have circle, it's going to be the same thing. Just a graph, one vertical line test. Here is a vertical line test. You can graph it here or you can graph it here. Check as this x going to 1y, and here is the second y. So 1x going to 2y. In this case, this is not a function. The next one, which is the last one, also we need to find if it's a function or no. Here's the last example. For this part, use the vertical line test. Graph any vertical line test. Let's graph a vertical line test here. And another one here. We're going to figure out this x going to 1y. This x going to 1y. In this case, we found that there's an x going to 1y, which is okay. So this one, yes, it's a function. That's it for this example.